It's time for practice. All the theory related to the concepts of one-dimensional array or simply arrays were already covered in our previous classes. So based upon that theory, we are going to solve our lab program. So we are going to create a program, and the program is, this is our 20-second lab program, and the program that we are going to create in this lab program is to calculate the semester marks percentage using arrays. So the logic behind this program is very simple, but all we need to understand is how we are going to solve the problem of percentage of marks obtained by the student in a semester using arrays. So this is very important. So we are going to use an array. So let's assume that there are 5 subjects in a semester. We are going to use an array of size 5. So here we are having a space for 5 elements. Now using this array, we are going to calculate the percentage of marks obtained by a student in a semester. So what we will do is, we will divide this entire problem, the solution for this problem, into 3 steps. So the first step is, the step 1, what we are going to do is, we are going to allow the user to enter the marks obtained by all the subjects in a semester. So how that can be done? That can be done by using a for loop. How many times this for loop has to iterate? It has to iterate from 0 to 5, means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So with this, it is going to iterate for 5 times. Every time we are going to enter the marks. The marks that are entered by the user will be stored into this array. So let's assume that the user has provided the marks. So the marks provided by the user are 60, 75, and so we will consider that the maximum mark for each subject is 100. So based upon that, the user has entered the marks 95 and this is 49. So these are all the marks that are obtained by the student in the corresponding subjects. So the second step is, the step 2 is to sum up all these marks. So all the marks obtained by the students, we have to sum up all those marks. So how that can be done? Again, we have to take another for loop, and this is going to iterate from 0 to 5, means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 times this loop is going to iterate. Every time what we are going to do, we are going to take a variable. Let's assume that total marks is equal to 0. Initially we take it as 0. Every time we iterate, we are going to fetch, starting from the mark from the 0th index, we are going to fetch these marks, and we are going to add. So the total marks is equal to total marks plus marks. So the array, let's assume that the array is marks and it is marks of I. Now this is how we are going to sum up all the marks that are obtained by the student. With that, what we are going to get? We are going to get sum of all the marks. Now what is the use of it? We are going to use that sum of all those marks in the percentage formula. So that is our step 3. So what is our step 3? So the percentage formula, it is very straightforward. We are going to take it as, let's take it as percent. So as the variable, and here we have to take the total marks divided by 500. So it is 500, not 5000. So why this 500? Because each subject is carrying a maximum mark of 100. Sum of all the maximum marks in 5 subjects, it is going to be 500. So we are going to directly take that 500 and we have to multiply it with 100 to get the percentage of marks. Okay. So simple calculation, right? So these are the 3 steps by which we are going to calculate, we are going to write a program so that the student can calculate the percentage of marks obtained in a semester. So let's go on to our compiler and see how the program is written. So this is the program for this, this is the program that I have considered. Here the first part is variable declaration. Here I have taken these variables, these are all the variables. Marks of 5 means I am taking an array of size 5 and to store the marks that are obtained by the student, and the name of that variable is marks. And the values that are to be stored into that array is of type integer. Okay, and the next is a program counter, loop counter I, and the next variable is total obtained. Total obtained, initially I've assigned it to 0, and I've taken another variable which is of type float, and the name of this variable is percentage. In order to store the final percentage marks obtained by the student, I am going to use this. And the first step, the first for loop is we are going to give the prompt, enter the marks obtained in 5 subjects out of which out of 100 each. So this is the prompt that I have given. And the next for loop, so below that we are having our first for loop, and this is going to iterate I is equal to 0, I less than 5. Means I is equal to 0, true, I is equal to 1, true, I less than, so every time we are going to compare I less than 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, it is going to be true. Whenever it is going to be 5, then this loop is going to fail. Now every iteration, what it is going to do, it is going to provide a prompt, enter marks of subject. So what subject? Number I plus 1. I is equal to 0 means subject 1. Enter the marks for subject 1. Enter marks for subject 2. Enter marks for subject 3. So every time this for loop is going to wait for the user to give the scanf is provided. In order, the program is going to wait for the user to provide the marks. Okay, so now the marks are provided. This is our first step. The second step is to sum up all the marks that are provided by the student. So which is done by this for loop, 0 to 5, again the same number of iterations, and every time it is going to add the marks that are there in the array to the variable called total obtained, by which we are going to get the sum of all the marks obtained by the student. So this is a straightforward for loop. So finally we are going to get the total marks obtained, and the third step is to formula to calculate the percentage. So here I have taken this typecasting so that the integer marks, sum of all the marks is integers. So the sum of total obtained is going to be an integer. We are going to convert it into float so that we are not going to miss the floating point value that we are going to obtain by this calculation. So as you know, we have discussed about this concept in our section 4, right? So we are going to just give this. So with this, what happens? The promotion, type promotion will be done, and we are going to get the floating point values. If the calculation is going to get a floating point value, that calculated floating point value will also get obtained by this, and into 100 we are going to get the percentage. And the final step, step 4, is going to display all the marks obtained. So these are all the printf statements. We are going to finally print the printf percentage. So let's see the output so that we can get the clarity. So here I run the program, and it is asking to enter the marks obtained in 5 subjects out of 100 each. So each subject is going to have a maximum mark of 100. For 100 you have to provide the marks. Okay, so now enter the marks for subject 1. So let's take it as 67 and 87, 98, 45 is for subject 4, and subject 5, let's take it as 67. Again we will take it as 69. Okay, so let's press enter. Now we are going to come out of our first for loop. So the second for loop, automatically we are going to calculate the sum of all the marks. Now let's see this. So total marks obtained is 366, and the final percentage is 73.20. So how we got this 20? So that is because of that floating, what we call it as typecasting. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next class we are going to cover another lab program. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.